जय गुरुजी। चंद्रशेखराय नमः, गंगाधराय नमः, लिंगेश्वराय नमः, परमेश्वराय नमः। जटाटवी गलल जले प्रवाह पावतस्थले गलाल लांब लांबितांबुजुंग तुंग मालिका टमट 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 निनादवानुमर्मयं चकार चंड तांडवं तनु तनु शिवम शिवम. Such a beautiful Tandav Stroth of Shiva, and the meaning is also very beautiful. Its meaning is, with his neck consecrated by the flow of water that flows from his hair, and on his neck a snake, which is hung like a garland, and the damru, drum, that emits the sound of damat 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 damat. Lord Shiva did the auspicious dance of Tandav. May he give prosperity to all of us. Jai Guruji. Jai Guruji. So that was Shiv Tandav Stroth. And today we shall initiate with chapter 5 of Shiv Puran of Vidyaveshwar Samhita. In chapter 4, we understood that in order to achieve Lord Shiva, there is no need to really perform very strict penance, go to Himalayas, leave your family. No, nothing of that sort. There was a very easy remedy given, which was just 3 simple rites, that is Shravan, Kirtan, and Manan, which means listening to the glories of Lord Shiva. Then, as a second step, glorifying his name and his stories to everyone else, and as third and the final step was to deliberate on his name. So 3 very simple ways. And sages then asked that what if someone is not even able to perform these 3 simple rites? Can still Shivlok be attained? Can still we achieve Lord Shiva? And here in chapter 5, we are going to listen to the solution to that question being asked. Chapter 5, the greatness of phallic emblem of Shiva. So, phallic emblem means Shivling. Suji said, a person incompetent to perform the 3 rites of Shravan, etc., shall fix the phallic emblem, that is Shivling, or the image of Shiva, and worship them every day. He can thus cross the ocean of worldly existence. And as far as possible, he can afford, the devotee shall make gifts of wealth too, without deceiving others. And he must worship Shivling and the image of Lord Shiva constantly. Seji then said, everywhere the deities are worshipped only in the image form. How is it that Shiva is worshipped both in the image as well as link form? So, very beautiful question being asked by sages to Suji, where they are asking that all the other deities have one image, one particular form, and a name as well. But how come when it comes to Lord Shiva, we find 2 shapes? That is, one is Nishkal and the Sakal. So here the question is being asked, and Suji is trying to respond to this question. So he says, O sages, this question is holy and wondrous. Here the speaker is Shiv himself and not any ordinary person. I shall tell you what Shiv himself said and what I heard from my own preceptor. Shiv alone is glorified as Nishkal, that is nameless and formless, since he is identical with Supreme Brahman. He is also Sakal, that is, he has an embodied form as well. So he is both Sakal and Nishkal. He is in his Niskal aspect that the Ling is appropriate. In the Sakal aspect, the worship of his embodied form is appropriate. Since he has both the aspects, he is thus worshipped both in Ling form as well as embodied form. So we've seen when you go to any temple, you find Shivling as well. Also Shankar image or the image of Rudra. So those are the 2 forms that we see. And here in the view of being embodied alone, they are worshipped solely in the bodily form. Shankar has Brahmatva and the others as Jivatva. Now there is a very nice conversation happening between Sanat Kumarji, who is one of the Manasputra of Lord Brahma, and also Nandikeshwara. Now here Sanat Kumarji is asking, the embodied form alone is often observed in the worship of deities other than Shiva, but both the forms, both the Shivling as well as the embodied form, are seen only in worship of Shiva. Hence, O benevolent one, please tell me precisely, making me understand the truth. So, Nandikeshwaraji then explains that how this Shivling form, the Shiv in the form of Ling, manifested himself or revealed himself. And this is how it happened. So Nandikeshwaraji said, "O dear one, out of love for you, I shall tell you the truth. Long, long ago, in the famous first Kalpa, the noble souls Brahma and Vishnu fought with each other. And while they were fighting with each other, in order to eradicate their arrogance, Lord Parmeshwar showed himself in the unembodied Nishkal form, in the form of a column in their midst. And this column was a very, very huge fire, of which there was no end and no start that could be found. He showed his Fallu's emblem separate. That is, he evolved out of that column with a desire to bless the entire worlds. From that time onwards, the divine Fallu, that is the Shivling, and the embodied image, both were assigned to Shiv alone. The embodied form alone was assigned to deities other than Shiva. The different types of embodied forms of different devas yields only enjoyment. But with regard to Shiv, the phallic emblem, that is the Shivling, and the embodied form together bestow auspicious enjoyment and salvation. So, Sangatji, we are all very blessed that we are able to hear Shiv Puran, sorry, and we are able to deliberate on the name of Lord Shiva. We are able to glorify his name, and that has been possible only because he wants us and he is happy on us. So, Jai Guruji, we will finish this chapter today here, and we'll initiate with chapter 6 next time, where we are going to listen to Journey to Kailash of Devas, who were terrified by the use of one weapon while there was a fight that was taking place between Brahma and Vishnu. So, Jai Guruji Sangatji, may Guruji bless you always. Jai Guruji.